Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut. I'm here with Mike Kelly, and we're the Real Estate Jerky. Thanks for showing up. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
What's
So,
going on today? We got some reports, huh?
well, there's news out. Well, right now, bond market's up 58 basis points.
Woohoo!
I don't know why.
Well, let's think about it. What is that?
That's how you think about it.
Is that the Lord?
And that's the Lord talking. It's saying, what are you thinking about? I don't know.
Don't want to think about that. Let's just leave it up 50 and maybe go up higher.
Well, we want it to keep getting better because we need it to get better so that people start doing stuff.
Yeah, maybe it'll lock a good interest rate.
Well, you can lock a bad interest rate, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
I think one of the issues is people are, again, we've been talking about this for weeks. People are just nervous to make a mistake, and there's only mistake you're going to make is by not acting, not acting.
Yeah.
On something.
Don't wait.
Don't wait. I don't know how many times you keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Well, let's see. Let's start counting. 407.
407.
Yeah.
Is that how many times we've done it?
Probably since the last week.
There we go.
Yeah, you all adjusted?
I'm all adjusted. I feel like a little short person now.
Short people got
every reason to live.
No,
that was wrong what you're saying there. That's just impossible. All right, let's get to the market.
Let's do it.
All right, so like I said, we're up 58 basis points, which is good because we've been down so many days in a row. It's nice to see a little bit higher. One of the things I came across this morning was, about AVNs, right? Automated valuation models.
Yes.
Right. We used a lot of them during COVID because there was a shortage of appraisers. And a lot of times we would get you would do a waiver. You wouldn't actually have to have an appraisal done on a property and that kind of stuff. And they kind of went away recently. I'm seeing them as much as we used to see them. I used to get them on probably 80% of my transactions that are conventional.
Yep.
And I don't now. We don't see it as much. Well, they're trying to go through and make it to where there's a certain requirements because they think AVNs are going to be better because there's less for appraisers to have their own opinion in there.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And then because I guess they complain that they have a bias, racial bias, that in certain neighborhoods their values come in lower than other neighborhoods that are exactly the same way. Well, has nothing to do with who lives there. That just has to do with the neighborhood in general.
Right. That's not a bias, and that's not a racial bias. That's just the neighborhood.
But you can make anything about race these days.
Oh, I know. You racist.
I know. I erased a lot of stuff last night.
You erased so many things last night.
All right. Recent Fed minutes. What we've been waiting for this week, right?
Hawkish.
Fed remains hawkish despite the 5.3% drop in inflation. If you don't know what hawk means, members who tend to want tighter money policy to temper inflation and grow while that's supposed to be say while whist doves tend to want looser money policy and support growth and inflation. So hawks are Republicans and doves are I'm just kidding.
Not Republicans. Doves are
inflation risks. They're still showing that there's a risk for more inflation because it's such a tight labor market.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that, but we got to get through this at one point. Myself personally, it's like I'm thinking, I was talking to somebody else. I'm like, I think this is going to go on a lot longer. If you look at existing home sales, we're probably not going to see that improve for probably up to 5 years.
Yeah. Existing.
It could be 10 years. That's why all the new builders are like, okay, we got to control the market. We're going to get in here and they're going to say, you can't use your real estate agent. You got to use ours. You can't use your lender. You got to use ours.
You can't have a different appraisal. You got to use ours.
And we're not going to give you any money for anything because you're going to have to come through us no matter what. And so that could be bad or it could be good. All right. Key market influences are going right. So Jackson Hole meeting that we were talking about, right? Anticipate the impact on the market. I think
that's today, right?
Yeah, that comes out today.
Okay.
But it's, his speech last Friday, Powell's speech last Friday has concerns about the Fed hawkish tone about how they're going to have to tighten more. They're going to have to do more, more increase, what's the Fed funds rate, tighten that more.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the tone right now is so they don't know what I'm talking to everybody. The people out there who are I got a comment over here. It says,
yeah, I know. I read it. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's got to allow some immigration reform to let some workers in here. Okay. That's fine. I could see that, but that's not what we were talking about. I guess they're talking about tight labor market, right?
Oh, yes.
There's so many. The problem is a lot of people still have people on the payroll because they think something's going to come and it's so hard to get people to work. It's so hard to get people trained.
Yep.
And this week we're going to have somebody in on the radio show who helps to get you in the trades, especially if you're a female. And that's going to be good because we really need more people.
I think that's going to be an exciting show.
Yeah. So the Fed tones, I was talking about the labor market, weaker labor market, soft jobs report, again, that's this week. We got initial claims on Thursday.
Right.
And the BLS coming in again. That's a Bureau of Labor Statistics.
I think we need it better.
We need better what?
Not the BLS. We got to call it something different.
It's Bureau of Labor Statistics is what I called it. I don't know what you're calling it.
Okay.
And again, see, today we're really going up. We're at 63 basis points. So all right. So again, a lot of stuff out there. No one really knows which way we're going. CNBC, their small business and consumer sentiment, the small business survey, all-time low confidence score of 42. That just people thinking, the small businesses saying, I think it's going to get worse. So 75%, 75% of small businesses expect stable or reduced headcounts. Again, and then 38% find current conditions favorable, down from 40%. Mm-hmm. I don't think conditions are favorable right now. Do you?
No.
Yeah. The problem is the cost of money for businesses to do anything is very expensive right now.
And they try to pad it or spread it over to the consumer, but consumers are getting to a point where they're like, okay, it's just too expensive. I can't do this anymore.
All right, we got somebody who really likes to talk about what we talk about. Yeah. Anyway, consumer spending, right? That's and credit card debt. Consumer spending is what's been propping up the economy, and everybody's been relying on credit cards versus the savings we used to have.
Right.
And we talked about this before. The credit card balances are up 16% year over year. Median balance at $8,000, previously $4,000. So most people have doubled what they have on their credit card debt.
Right.
Balances rose $270 billion versus 30-year average of $120 billion, leading into a 2.77 delinquency rate. So basically, they're starting to see delinquency on credit cards. And I'm surprised that it's taken this long myself. Yeah. I'm waiting for a huge, and that's what we talked about before. If you're a credit card if you're a credit person who helps people get rid of their credit card debt, helps them go through, you're going to have a lot of fun. If you're a bankruptcy attorney, get ready. You're going to be doing a lot of bankruptcy.
You're going to be busy people's.
Yes, it's coming. This is like 2008, but a totally different reason, right? If we don't change the current administration and change certain things the way we're doing it. I mean, even Clinton, when he went through and, his second, and he looked at the state of the economy and the nation, and they said, okay, you're not really getting these people doing it. He at least changed to work with the other party.
Right.
This one is not doing anything but what they want.
We've got some good stuff going over here on the comments, and then we got this one. Apologies, I'm just very interactive.
No, that's not apologies.
No, but it sounds like he's this one here. He says the BLS used to be right down the hall from me when everyone was in the office. I think they all telework now, though, and he's talking about in Cleveland. So,
right. So yeah. They phone it in. That's right.
Exactly.
I've seen a lot more of that. I mean, my landlord even here's like, hey, you want to stay? We won't raise your rent.
Yep.
I'm thinking, well, we reduce it.
Yeah, reduce my rent. Don't raise it.
They're not.
No, they won't do that part.
Well, I think it's at the point now where people are getting to, okay, well, do we really need this space?
Yeah.
Everybody, yes, we want some people to come into work and some people we don't. If it works for your business by having people at home, leave them at home. Don't make a change.
Right.
What else we got going on here? Possibility of recession. That's the biggest thing that's up in the air right now. Nobody really knows if they're going to have a recession,
a soft landing, a hard landing, a crash, or whatever.
Right. So new home sales came in at, this is what I wanted to talk about. New home sales, which measures signed contracts on new home, rose 4.4% in July to 714,000 unit analyzed pace, which is better than expected and 1,000 away from the best number in 15 months.
Wow.
Sales are almost up 32% year over year. So new home sales, that's how it's going to be going forward. We're going to see a lot more new home sales and nothing else. Let's see, BLS released their primary revision from April 2022 to March of 2023, and total showed that the overstated job gains by over 300,000.
Wow.
Overstated how many jobs? Biden.
That's a big number.
They called Biden and he told them.
And he was 300,000.
He was like, well, when I was younger and I had to work. You know how he does that,
Yeah.
make it about him instead of the people, just like the Hawaii thing. Oh, we had our house. We understand our house it was burned down, went away. You mean the small kitchen fire that was taken care of in 10 minutes? That one,
Right.
the grease fire, because you forgot you had something on the stove. Anyway, I don't want to keep bitching about stuff. You have numbers, so go ahead.
San Francisco luxury apartment tower is at risk of defaulting on their mortgage.
They went back to the bank already.
Did they go?
Yeah. Well, that's what happened. Yeah, that was another article
this was this
earlier.
morning's article.
There was an article earlier saying went back to the bank, which means okay, what are they going to do with it? Are they going to go for closure? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we're going to see a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Because most of the interest rates on all the commercial and some of the multifamily is adjustables.
Right.
They're not fixed rate, which I'm shocked that they don't do that. And they only do those. Well, I guess the bank wants you to keep coming back every so often and get another loan.
Well, they're saying that largely because of the homeless population around this luxury apartment, a lot of people are leaving. A 400 square foot studio is renting for $3,000 a month.
Yep.
And they're saying people are leaving in droves. Businesses are closing. People are pulling out. Whole Foods, stuff like that. So here we are, 553 active listings in Stanislaus County, 376 pendings. That 553 number, I think, is down a little bit from last week as well. And then we're, from the end of July to getting real close to the end of August already. But, we've gone from 1,799 closings year to date to 2,148.
It's still around 280.
I know. I think we're just going to track that. Again,
I think it's going to go down.
Inventory issues.
I think it's going to go down a little bit more over the next.
Well, everybody's going back to school. Things are going to soften, get quieter. As far as listings go, traditionally that happens every year. So there we are. What are we going to say again? Oh, look, there's no inventory.
Yeah, and that across the way they were talking about how existing home sales is down, blah blah blah, because of no inventory.
Well,
their lack of inventory out there. Actually, I read an article that said that inventory is up.
Where?
Yeah, well, that whole percentage stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that somewhere. So it's going to be interesting to listen to at the Red Center, 11:30 today. They're having an affordable housing symposium, or
I'm listening to you. Sorry,
I know you are, and it'll be interesting to hear what they say about how to create affordable housing. You and I know how to create affordable housing, and we've been talking about it for years. Years.
It's been years.
Stop spending. Stop having programs for first-time buyers, and start giving the money to the builders so they can offset their expenses, so they can bring the purchase price down.
What? Purchase price down?
What?
That's just too ridiculous.
That's weird.
That's ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Stupid talk.
Why would you do that?
That's just.
Why would you do something that doesn't sound like really good stuff?
I don't know.
It's just helping those greedy ass builders.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
The most important thing is to help people get into homes. We need to get more people into homes. I'm going to start a course on how to get ready to buy a home, because a lot of people are like, am I ready to buy a home? Should I buy a home? What shouldn't I? We've had that conversation before, where now it's not so much, it's cheaper than my rent, or it's the same as my rent, I should just buy.
Right.
Now it's back to where you have to look at, okay, it's long-term, it's to make equity, it's to help you with taxes, it's to help you keep your payments secure for the next so many years. You can always refinance and lower your payment. You cannot get back to these prices of homes in 5 years from now.
No, we won't.
We're into this shortage of homes.
No.
This shortage of homes is a 10 to 20 year problem.
Do you actually think we'll ever catch up?
I think the problem is we'll catch up in 20 years, and then the pandemic babies are going to be ready to buy, and we're going to be in another problem, because that's the same as the baby boomers. And then also people growing, I forget the number the other day. I saw a number about how many people are turning 62 starting next year a day. Mm-hmm. It's like 16,000 or something.
Oh, so I'm ahead of the curve.
There's just so what that means is there's a lot of people now, because of what we just went through, who are not going to have savings. They're going to need to do a reverse mortgage. You're going to need to do other things, and you really should start looking into that if you're getting close to that age, to see what it's going to do for you and if it's going to be beneficial for you to do it at when you hit 62 or whether you're 65. And as rates are as high as we are right now, that even affects reverse mortgages,
Right.
how much you can get out because the rate's so much higher. Even though they work off adjustables, they are higher.
So the adjustables starting higher.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, but you can always refinance it down the road, the reverse mortgage again, also, just like any other loan.
Right.
So that you could redo it, get more money out, or just adjust the payment. That's all I have for today.
Well, I would like to encourage some people to come on down to the Red Center at 11:30 and listen to this, especially realtors and lenders, listen to what this is going to be presented. Derek Dami, a buddy of ours, called me this morning last minute and said, I'm throwing him under the bus. Hey, you're going to that thing today at 11:30? I'm like, what thing at 11:30? Oh, I meant to send you a flyer. Anyway, once I get the flyer, I'll know more about it, but I'm interested to hear their take.
I'm sure it's not going to be.
Share our take.
I guarantee it's not going to be the right take.
No, it'll be a political. This feels really good, but we're not going to be able to do anything with it.
We're going to get $800 billion to help people buy homes. The homes that aren't there, but we're going to help them. Yeah. All right. Make it a great day. Thanks for being here, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.